Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the VAR Room where Americans talk soccer. I'm your co-host Idris today, and alongside me, Jin. How are you doing today, Jin?
Doing good, just football.
Again, I want to say a huge shout out to all our new subscribers, and make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Today's topic, we're talking about the transfer window. There's 24 more hours, or I should say, about roughly 36 more hours to the close of the transfer window, which closes tomorrow. And we're just going to discuss some of the business that the teams in the Premier League have done and some of the rumors and give our thoughts on that. So let's get started with your team, Jim. What do you think of Spurs' business in the transfer window so far?
Ooh. I'm kind of liking this, man. I'm liking it. Levy's actually spending a lot of money and pushing towards getting a lot of players that we need for the club. And we just signed two new players. Vinicius from Benfica. It's a loan deal, but we have a buying clause for 33 mil, I think. If he does well, I think we have an option to buy him. So I think it's really good for our team where Son and Kane constantly get injuries. Vinicius can come in and first he's going to have to show us his abilities first two games and show us like why he belongs in that starting lineup, how he can replace Kane and Son. But I've seen his highlights. He's pretty decent with the ball and he can score, he can pass. So very excited for him. And another player we signed was Regulon, right?
Reguilon.
Reguilon, yeah.
The Spanish names, bro.
It's the Spanish names, man. I actually have one more after Reguilon. First, I'm going to talk about Reguilon. He's very good signing from Sevilla. He just won the Europa League with them. And he's young. He's energetic. When I saw him first play against in the Europa group stage, I forgot which team, but the amount of energy he brought, he was slide tackling everywhere, trying to get the ball. And he got the ball. And he gave a really nice cross to Lamela and gave us the win for one of the games. So very excited for him. I think he's going to start from now on. And it's going to be a good competition between him and Ben Davis, which is going to bring even better competition and make both of them better players. So I'm very excited. Very great player. And what a steal. What a steal. I think we only paid like 25 mil for this guy. And I think it's a bargain. And I hope he stays, and he's going to do a lot of great things for this season.
One question before we move on. Even if he banks for you guys, there's a buyback clause, so Madrid can take him away from you at any point.
Ooh, dude, I will step in. That's when I will step in. I will fly out to Madrid, and then I will make something happen. I will cancel that meeting. I will make it happen.
All right, you can continue.
Finally, this is a signing that we've been all talking about. Whole England, whole transfer market, all over the world. Gareth Bale returns to Tottenham Hotspur after more than 10 years, playing magnificent season in Real Madrid. Here's why I think Bale is going to be such a great addition to our Spurs attacking lineup. Just imagine Son, Bale, and Kane in the front. It's like bringing back our Son, Daly, Kane, and Eriksen lineup. But I would say it's more fast-paced. It's more aggressive. So I'm very excited to see the combination of these three. And, who knows? Maybe they will work even better with Vinicius and we also got Lamela and Bergwijn, and a lot of these players know how to attack the ball. So I'm very excited to see all these combination. It's going to take time for Mourinho to experiment with these new players. But Bale, man, he knows how to finish. He's one of the fastest player in the world. And, Bale, when he was at Real Madrid, he scored a lot of goals in Champions League, and he has won a lot of La Liga cups. And I just remember when Ronaldo left for Juventus, Bale had to step up, and he started off really well, but he got injured after scoring like hat trick in one of the games. So as long as he's not injured, unfortunately, he's already injured after we loaned him. But as long as he's healthy and he has the mentality right with us, I think he's gonna be one of our top scorers for Spurs. And I think his mentality is with us actually because he's always watching the game. He's happy I can see his reactions for the team, and on his social media, it's like a fresh new start. He had a bad interaction with Real Madrid before he left. He didn't gain the trust of Zidane, and he was pretty much left out on the starting lineup. But he always believed that he deserved to be on the pitch, and I agree. He is one of the better attacking players on the Real Madrid, and I think he should have started most of the games. He had a pretty shaky season. He only played 16 games and 2 goals and 2 assists. But like I said, his mentality was not there. But now with Spurs, his mentality is here with us. And as long as he's healthy with good conditioning with the Spurs team, I think he's going to do great.
That's funny. It took Spurs 8 years or however long he was gone to replace Gareth Bale with Gareth Bale. Such a banter club. Like he's just on loan because you guys are broke. You can't afford him. It's just a loan move. You guys are broke. You don't got money like that.
Dude, did you hear that news that he said he wanted to go to Manchester United initially?
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he? United is bigger than Spurs, but that's a conversation for another day.
Hey, we got the 6-2 victory today. You know who's the bigger club. Everyone knows who's the bigger club.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Hey, but 30 million. I think that's expensive, dude, for Bale. How he's like always injured, and he's already injured. What do you think about his price, Idris? Think that was reasonable?
I mean, he is a great player, but those injuries be messing with him, bro. I don't know. He needs to get fit. But 30 mil he's 29, I think.
32, dude.
And with those injuries, yeah, that's a hard bargain. I'll say probably 20, 15 to be honest. But
yeah.
he's still some player when he's fit. So let's see.
Yeah. We'll see, dude. Hey, good victory for you guys, Arsenal today. 2-1 against Sheffield. You guys are up 2-0, and then you let 1 goal for Sheffield. You allowed 1 goal. But hey, what about Arsenal? What are some transfers that you're excited about? And yeah,
I want our owner to sell the club. He is non-ambitious. He's a fucking wallad, and I hate him so much. He is like I think he's the only Premier League owner that has put 0 of his own money into the club. He has put absolutely 0. How would you own a club and not even spend on the club? It makes no sense. But we've signed only 3 players. We got Willian for free from Chelsea. We got Gabriel, and we got Alex Runison, which is a goalie to replace Martinez because he left for Aston Villa. And that's pretty much our business. We know we need some more midfielders, but of the 3 we signed, I would say Gabriel does look like a bargain. He's a central defender, play at Lille, pretty young. I think he's about 22. And people are like, would he come in to make a difference? But for 22 odd mil, I think 22, 23 mil, he's looking like a bargain. He is so commanding the defense. He's strong in the air, can pass the ball. So I'm excited to see him play a little more. Hopefully we can get Saliba up to speed. He hasn't had a great season last year because of injuries, so they're kind of easing him into it. But we bought him last year, but he was on loan back at his parent company, or he's at loan. So he's come back, and they're easing him in. But I do see a great partnership with Gabriel there. So I'm looking excited. And I hope we sign someone. There were rumors all summer to sign Houssen Aouar from Lyon, but the Lyon president is a fucking dickhead. And he keeps tweeting about us, and he said the deal's off, so we can't get him. But I kind of blame Arsenal. They asked for 50 million. We went to the table with 38. Come on. So I'm kind of bummed because he's super young, super talented, and I think we missed out on one. I just want us to sign someone. Arsenal fans are desperate, like because we know we have a great manager, and if you have a great manager, if you have something great and you don't provide the tools for it, it's bound to fail. And I don't want him to fail because if Arteta doesn't get the backing, he might as well just leave for a better club with ambition. He might as well go to Barcelona at that rate. I mean, he is a Barcelona kid. He grew up in the youth academy at Barcelona, so he might as well just go back there. And he knows he'll get the money. He knows he'll get the backing. So I'm really hoping they do some business before tomorrow. We just need a midfielder, a more mobile midfielder, because they're not playing Guendouzi, they're not playing Ozil. We're left with a midfield of Xhaka, El Neni, and Ceballos. Respect to Ceballos, though he's pretty decent, but those are the midfielders we have. We sent off Torreira to Atletico Madrid on loan, and we're not getting any midfielders. We cannot sustain a season that we're in 4 competitions with 3 midfielders. It's just not possible. So I'm really hoping we sign the midfielder tomorrow.
What about Willian? Where does he fit in right now?
He's a winger, so he plays out wide.
What do you think about his performance so far?
I think the first game against Fulham, he was unplayable, pretty solid. Got 2 assists and it was good. I think it's taken some time for him to get into the structure of Arsenal because back at Chelsea he played more on the left, but at Arsenal nobody's taking that left hand side away from Aubameyang. That's a pretty given. So he's playing out from the right, and I mean he was effective against Fulham, but I don't think he's that effective just yet. But it looks like Arteta is still tweaking it and seeing how he wants to play going on. So I think he'll be a good signing. He gives Pepe that competition also. Because Pepe, he is a great player. I think his price tag put a lot of pressure on him. But there is a talented player there. And just having that little bit pressure that's like, hey, if you're going to fuck up, we go play this guy. And you can see it today. He came off the bench, changed the game completely. Spectacular goal that he scored. So it brings competition.
That's right. I've seen a lot of Arteta's trying a lot of young players. Like, are there any the young players that you're looking forward to?
Bukayo Saka. He scored a goal today. He is one talent. He got his first England call up to the first team today. This week also. So he is some talent. His intelligence is insane. He's so versatile. So I'm excited for him. Nketiah, I think he needs to work on it, but he's learning from Alba. He's a goal scorer too, so he knows where to be in the right moment. So hopefully those two are excited. I think Reece Nelson as well just needs a little confidence and some game time, but there are a lot of people ahead of him. Like you have Alba on the wing, that's ahead of him. William is ahead of him. Saka is ahead of him. Pepe is ahead of him. That's a huge competition to make it. Then when Gabriel Martinelli comes back, he might be ahead of Nelson. So that's a lot of people ahead of him. But I think Reece Nelson is he's going to light it up. I think a loan move might suffice for him because when he took out a loan to Germany, he was pretty good. So hopefully if he does stay, he can get some game time and bring on his confidence, and I'm sure he'll bag. But I'm just begging Arsenal, please sign some midfielders. Please, I'm on my knees, please.
Dude, Idris, hate to say this, but at this rate, Arsenal's owner is not spending any money, and Arsenal has history of losing a lot of great players. Dude, I don't think it's a safe place for Saka and Pepe, dude.
I mean, Saka just signed a new 5-year contract. Pepe is on a 4-year deal, I think, and we signed him last year. Aubameyang, we extended his contract. Martinelli, we got his contract sorted out. So we're doing the right things. We're keeping our good players, but over the course of the next few seasons, are we going to do that if we're not being ambitious? I don't know. So gotta hope for the best.
That's good, dude. You guys should also clubs should work on also sustaining the young players coming up from the youth academy. I think that's very important.
Yeah, that is very important. And if you missed that episode, we talked about this last week, so go check it out.
Yep. Go check it out, guys. And Idris and I are going to talk about many other transfers that happened this season. And there were so many insane transfers.
Yeah, we'll just give our thoughts, and I think we should rate them out of 10. So we'll say the player, the club, the player, and rate them out of 10.
Yep.
Sound good? All
Sounds
right,
good.
let's start with Everton. James Rodriguez from Real Madrid, Alan from Napoli, and Ducote from Watford. How'd you rate that transfer window, and what are your thoughts on those players?
I would say that was a 10 transfer. 10.
Ooh, 10 out of 10.
10 out
Wow.
of 10. Look at how Everton's doing so well with these players. Calvert-Lewin, he became more alive, and he's scoring goals. I think 3 games in a row now, and just overall Everton playing so well now. I think it's so much. It's shocking. It's shocking to see them playing this well.
So you give it a 10 out of 10, huh? That's
Yeah.
impressive. I'll give it. I'll say it's close for me. I'll say a 9 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 is it's a stretch, but 9 out of 10 because, like you said, they are moving a madness, man. It's like those 3 players just completely changed the way they play. Calvert-Lewin his confidence is off the chains right now. I think he has 8 goals in his last 4 games. Insane. Yeah. So, and he's just James, We always knew James Rodriguez was a good player after that World Cup. Remember 2010 when he broke onto the scene? Oof. Yeah, we always knew he was a great player, and he's just doing what he's doing. So,
I'll give it a 9. I kind of doubted James because he hasn't been playing that much in Real Madrid. It's like a new environment for him, but man, he's in it.
Yeah, he is. All right, let's move on to the next, Liverpool. And I don't know how to pronounce this guy, but I think he's Greek. It's Tsimikas. He's a left back. He's a right back. I think he's a backup for Trent Alexander-Arnold. They got Diego Jota from Wolves, and they got Thiago from Bayern Munich. What do you think of that transfer?
Ooh, I would say it's 9. Jota is definitely a very good player from Wolves. He's shown his skills, and he's a playmaker, and he also knows how to score. So what a great addition to Liverpool attacking lineup. And Thiago, man, he just won the Champions League and German. He's a German league winner last season. And when I saw him, I think he made 84 passes, and it was like 95% completion rate, something like that, something insane. And when you see him play, it's not just safe passes, it's just passes that are accurate. It's dangerous. So what a great addition to Liverpool. That's why I give it 8. Tsimikas, I don't really know too much about him, but when I saw his interview, he seems genuinely happy to be in the club, and he seems like he had a pretty good season from his previous club. So yeah, I think we just gotta watch this guy, how he plays, how he competes with Alexander Trent. So yeah, we'll see. What about you, Ders?
I'll say Liverpool won the transfer window. And I say that because they already had an insane team. Like their team was off the chains. And then you add Thiago, regardless if they didn't sign anyone else, just having Thiago is an insane amount. He is a world-class midfielder. There's no 2 ways about it. And for 20-something million, that is insane amount of business to do for Thiago. He's just an insane player. And I was just so surprised that no other club fought Liverpool for Thiago. Bayern were yeah, he wants to leave, and Liverpool were okay, we'll take him. And no other club took him. He walks into every midfield in this world, literally every team. He walks into that team. He walks into Liverpool. He walks into Arsenal. He walks into Spurs, United, Barcelona. He walks into that midfield, 100%. Bayern, he walks in. Real Madrid, he walks in. Why was only one club in for him? And Liverpool got him, and that's just insane. He's a deep line playmaker. He can break up the play. He's imagine a midfield of Fabinho, Thiago, and whoever the other person is. It doesn't really matter because those 2 are just protection. You have the fight in Fabinho. He'll break everything up. And Thiago, you have the passing vision and the runs of Salah and Mane. just insane. Liverpool are going to be dangerous. Again, Yota, great signing. I don't understand why Wolves sold him. I guess probably to make space for Neto and Podence, who are pretty good, but they got a good money for Yota. I think it's around 40 something million. So I'll say good business, but it's going to be, I feel like it's going to halt his development just a tad bit because it's hard to put Mane and Salah on the bench. Let's be honest. That is super hard to do. But
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited for him. So I think Liverpool won the transfer window. So I give them a 10.
Dude, yeah, Fabinho's a beast. And, dude, with him and Thiago, they're going to be invincible, dude.
Exactly.
And
All
then
right.
Jota for Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton's not doing well right now. I don't think it was a good move to sell them.
To sell Yota?
Yes, to sell Jota. It was a good. I mean, they got money. They pretty much spent it on Fabio Silva, but he's not. Fabio Silva is like, I don't know what he's doing.
I don't think it was the right time because he had such good chemistry with Jimenez and Traore. And I don't think Neto and Podence have they're not up to speed yet. But
yep, that's true.
Again, they got good money. But let's keep it kicking. United, they only made one signing, and it's Donny van de Beek. Thoughts on that one?
Not much thought. Probably 7. Van de Beek, saw him play Ajax. He's a good player. He scored a debut goal for Manchester United, but he has to pick up the pace, and I can't say much because I haven't seen much yet.
Yeah, I would say I would rate United's window. I'll say a 2 out of 10, and I say that for the simple fact that they have a shit defense. Their defense is absolute shit. They just wasted 80 million on Harry Maguire, and they are not buying defenders. Hopefully, in the next couple of hours, they buy a defender before the window is closed. But we saw the shit show today. What the hell was Maguire doing?
It was horrifying, dude. It was horrifying.
To think that they paid 80 million for him is just insane. And I think they have a decent team going forward, and their midfield is pretty decent. Van de Beek to that midfield, and it's pretty decent. But their defense is just shit. Look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw also terrible defending.
Yep.
Horrible. He made Aurier look like he was fucking prime Dani Alves today. Like, oh my days. Like
that's funny.
Like, imagine if Doherty was playing today. He would have given Luke Shaw a handful. He probably would have bagged a hat trick the way Luke Shaw played today. And they're still not buying defenders. So 2 out of 10 for United.
Dude, like, and then Harry Maguire's a captain, and captain's like choking that bad, and he's like, how are the other players gonna like stay their mind inside the game, in shape?
Yeah, but United doing United things. So
yep.
On to the next Manchester team, the better Manchester team right now. They've bought Ferran Torres, Ruben Diaz, and Nathan Ake. How would you rate that?
I would say 4.
A 4? Whoa,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, these are good players, right? These are all good players. But Man City, they always spend a lot of money. They're trying to buy the trophy with money. I don't like that. they got to work on. They already have so many good players in their lineup. I want to see them more like working on their strategy, tactics for Pep, rather than buying more players. I want them to like invest, try out more young players. Look at Phil Foden, and look at how he's doing so well.
Fucking beast.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think teams are figuring out Man City's style now. And then Leicester, they defeated them pretty bad, and I don't think they're gonna win this season at this pace. That's why I give them 4. What about you?
I'll say it's about a 7, and I give it a 7 because
7?
they had hear me out. They had defensive issues last season, right? And they addressed it by buying 2 defenders. That's Ruben Diaz and Nathan Ake. But the thing is, spending 100-odd million on 2 defenders and then conceding 5 to Leicester, I don't know about that.
And how much did they spend?
Ruben Diaz was about 60-odd million, and Nathan Ake was 50 million. So that's 100 million right there. And Pep Guardiola has spent the most on his defense since he's been at Man City than any other man. He spent over 300 million on defenders since he came to Man City. and their defensive record is still fucking bollocks. So
Yeah,
I really don't understand, but like I kind of agree with you. They kind of buying their way to trophies. And I
yeah,
think they're gonna get exposed this season
they
because
are. Yeah, you're right.
they're gonna get exposed. Like they need a backup striker. They don't have a backup striker. Gabriel Jesus and Aguero are injured. Now they're playing Sterling as a striker. Sterling is not a striker. So they haven't bought a striker.
Right.
They haven't addressed that. I mean, they're trying to bring in one of their academy players. I forgot his name actually to come play striker, but they haven't had that pipeline system like some other teams. So
Mm,
it's going to be hard for them. Like look at Phil Foden. Everyone's known Phil Foden was a great player like 2, 3 seasons ago, but he's just breaking into the team now because City would rather buy players and spend the money to win trophies than have that pipeline, you know?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
other teams have that pipeline. Like look at Harry Kane, look at Harry Winks, look at Bukayo Saka, look at Rashford from United. Like
Mm.
City don't have that pipeline, and it's going to be really hard for them because again, I think Pep has lost something with Mikel Arteta being his number two, because I think Arteta gave him that second dimension
Hmm.
of things when stuff are running out, and I think he's really struggling right now to have a plan B. And I think that's been Guardiola's problem personally since his managerial career with teams. Even though he's won so many trophies, still a great manager, but I think after plan A doesn't work, I don't think he necessarily has a plan B. And we saw that against Leicester. Leicester go 3-2 up. There was no really plan B. He didn't know what to do. He kind of got stuck. But I think they're going to have a hard time trying to win the league. I know it's still early on, but it seems like they're going to struggle.
Dude, yeah, I think that's a great point. They don't have a pipeline for young players to come up and play. Like, because it's so easy for him to just buy players because, the owner just pays him and he can pretty much just get anyone he wants because it's such a big club. Everyone wants to come to Man City and he can just buy him. So, like, it's not, it looks good on the outside, but inside, I think there's going to be a lot of issues later on.
Yeah. But let's move on to the biggest spenders of the transfer window. I think they spent almost 200 odd million. And Chelsea, let me just read out the list for you. They've bought Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Kai Havertz, Thiago Silva, Eduardo Mendy, who's a goalkeeper, Ben Chilwell. That's like 6 players. No, they bought what's it called? Sar also. They got him on a
Sorry. Yeah.
free. That's 7 players. That's almost a whole squad right there. How would you rate their transfer window? I think shit. The only person they didn't sign was Lionel Messi. Fuck. How would you rate their transfer window?
Um, I would say I'll give them an 8, dude. Great signing, Warner. He hasn't picked up his pace yet, but he's starting to, and we're seeing that on last couple of games. He scored a goal, and he's becoming one of the key players. And Ziyech, I think he's still out for his injury. So we just gotta wait and see him perform soon. And Havertz, I think he's good. He just need more time as well. Thiago Silva, man, I don't know. He was pretty shaky last game against I think they played Crystal Palace and when they lost. He made a silly mistake. Couldn't control the ball, and boom. I think it was Zaha that scored or something. But I think he still needs time, and we know he's a great player. And yeah, look at Spurs. It takes time for players to get to know each other, and then kind of it'll take a lot of draws and losses to just settle at their comfort level. And Mendy, he's a good replacement for Kepa, I would say. I think Kepa needs to regroup himself right now because I think fans are too harsh on him, and I think he kind of lost his confidence. So Mendy, great signing. I think it was signing for like 6 mil. It wasn't that costly, I remember. And Ben Chilwell, I don't know. I always thought Ben Chilwell was like a pretty average player. And
Got a goal and assist yesterday.
oh really?
Yeah.
Who's Ben Chilwell competing with in Chelsea?
I mean, his competition is not that great. He's competing with Alonso and what's his name? Emerson. Who are not great fullbacks anyway. So he pretty much walks into
He
that
walked in,
team.
yeah. He walked in, yeah. You're right, Idris. Yeah, I don't think he has too many of a good competition. And I guess, yeah, in that case, it was a good signing if they only had Marco, Alonso, and
Emerson.
yeah, Emerson was terrible. So Ben Chilwell, I think, is a good signing. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Idris?
Player-wise, I'll say I think they have a 10 out of 10 transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
But now it kind of comes down to the manager to utilize them.
Frank.
Yes, Frank. And I think he's made a few mistakes. And his first mistake was playing Kai Havertz as a winger.
Oh, yeah.
He is 100% not a winger. He's a number 10. He likes to have that freedom to roam around, go to where he wants, go into the space. He played him as out wide twice, and he was isolated. Like it was like Lampard set him up for failure. Werner, the same thing. I don't think Werner is a winger either, but I think his hands are kind of tied because he doesn't have that winger he needs in Pulisic right now. So I think his hands are kind of tied. And if Werner you can see his discipline is not that great as a winger because he always tends to drift inside the box. So inside, because of course he's a goal scorer. He wants to be in the box.
Yeah.
So yeah. But Thiago Silva, that was an interesting one. I guess he brings the experience they want. He's a leader. He's won trophies. But this is another situation where I think it kind of halts the development of one of their players, and that's I don't know if you've watched a lot of Tomori, but he's young English defender, pretty decent. I thought he would get some game time.
Yeah.
Now that and I don't know how he fits into the system now because now he has Thiago Silva in front of him, he has Kurt Zuma in front of him, he has Rudiger in front of him, and he has Christensen in front of him. Those are 4 players who are in front of him. So does that kind of halt his development? And this goes back to talking about incorporating young players into the squad. I guess he will get some game time. I think he played the last game against, was it West Brom? He was pretty decent, even though the game didn't go as planned. Mm-hmm. So I think it just ties down to like that pipeline because you can see they have some good players coming through the ranks. They had Lamptey, who they sold. They had Reece James. They have Mason Mount, which he apparently has Lampard's news because he can't be dropped. I think he's played every game since the start of the season. They have, what's his name, Tammy Abraham. I think he was from their academy too, but he went out on loan. So like they have a decent number of youngsters, and I think it's up to Lampard to find the balance. Again, Ben Chilwell, there's no real competition. He kind of just walked into the team. I'm not convinced that he was worth 50 million. He'll probably prove me wrong. I hope he proves me wrong because like that's a lot of money to spend on a okay fullback, I'll say. Okay fullback. Like I think Reguilon is ×2 the player Ben Chilwell is. And Spurs got him for like how much? 20 30
25
million?
Something, yeah.
20. Yeah, 25 million. So that's just good business from Spurs. But like again, he might prove me wrong, but he didn't really have competition in that position. So he just walks in. And Mendy to replace Kepa, I think that just kind of shoots Kepa's confidence down like to 0. I mean, he didn't have confidence at all. But like one day your manager says, I still have faith in you. The next day he signs your replacement. That's just hard on a player, And I think his price tag played a role, being the most expensive goalkeeper, making mistakes. It's hard on him. So I think it's just down to Lampard to find the right balance for that. So I'll give them a 10 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And that's just because of the players they bought in.
Yeah, dude, that's a good point. Lampard's going to be definitely at a test here. We're going to watch him, how he juggles all these players, and we'll see if we can find like his starting 11.
All right, on to Leicester City. So they brought in Fofana, Unger, and Castagna. I've not seen a lot of Fofana play. I've not seen a lot of Unger play, but I've seen Castagna since he came to Leicester, and he is some fullback. He's insane. He's really good. What are your thoughts on their transfer business?
Actually, yeah, I haven't seen too much Fofana, Unger, like even Castagna, but from what I hear from you, Idris, he sounds like a really good addition to Leicester team. Who is he competing with right now?
Ricardo Pereira, who's pretty good, but he has an injury. So
Oh,
when he comes back, that'll be an interesting battle for that
dude,
spot.
Pereira is a great player, dude.
Yeah,
He,
he's a great fullback.
I think he started like almost every game last season, and he
Before he
was,
got injured, yeah.
yeah, he's really good. He's really good. So yeah, like you said, that's good. I think it's good to always put more competition for these players. They're gonna compete and they're gonna get better. I would say 7 for this transfer. 7. Yep.
7? Yeah, I think 7 is fair enough just because I haven't seen the others play, but I have seen Castagna play and he looks like a bargain. And well, just one quick note, one thing I've noticed with like teams that are not like in the top, quote unquote, the traditional top 6, they know how to find those players that no one knows and make them good.
Mm.
But let's keep it moving. So we have Wolves. They brought in Fabio Silva. If you haven't seen our video on that, go watch it. We discussed that a little in depth of who Fabio Silva is. They have Podence. They have Nelson Semedo from Barcelona. They got Hoover from Liverpool, who I haven't seen a lot, and they got Ventina, who I haven't seen a lot either.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I've seen Fabio Silva play a couple last minutes of couple games. He doesn't seem too promising for me yet. But he at the same time, it's not fair for me to say that because he didn't get that much playing time. But I like how Wolves are trying to incorporate young players. I respect that. But I think it was at the wrong time. I think they should have bought this player, maybe kept an eye on him, maybe bought him at 1 or 2 years after. But who knows? Like later, they might have not got this guy, but it's a gamble. Like I said in previous episode, you guys should check it out. It's a gamble, and we'll have to see how the Wolves will use this guy, Fabio Silva, and Jimenez getting a new contract. I think 5-year contract with Wolves, and Fabio Silva also in this lineup as well. So they also got a lot of new signings. Like you said, Hoover, don't know too much. He's from Liverpool. I think he's just moving up from the youth team, the academy team from Liverpool. So he's at the test here. We'll have to see how he plays. Vitinha, I also saw him play once. I don't know too much about him, but you know, this is a very Portuguese heavy team, and I think Vitinha is also Portuguese. So we gotta trust the Portuguese squad and see what they can do, what they're gonna bring for us. Yeah. So I'll give this team transfer. I would give 9 just for getting Fabio Silva, just trying to do this, trying new stuff and bringing new players on. What about you, just
I'll give it a 7. Again, like you
7?
said, yeah, Fabio Silva is. I don't know. I've seen a few minutes of him. I mean, it's not great to judge a player just based on a few minutes, but
Yeah,
again, it's a huge gamble.
it's a gamble,
40,
dude.
40 odd million, huge gamble. Podence is a great player, dynamic, explosive, direct, pacey. And that's kind of the theme of the Wolves team. Pure pace. Semedo, I'm trying to see how he fits in because I think he's a traditional right back, and I think Wolves play more with the back three, and they have their wing backs going up. But he's pretty skillful. I've watched him a decent amount at Barcelona. Pretty skillful, can get forward, also pacey. It's like they're just gathering pace up there. But but
Dude,
yeah,
Idris,
like what do you say?
like for Spurs, like everyone is pacey, right? Harry Kane's not pacey, right? He's pretty slow, but I think unless Fabio Silva develops that skill that Harry Kane has, like pinpoint accuracy passes and finishing abilities, it's gonna be tough for him.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Because you kind of see, and this is just diverting a little, but if you look at Harry Kane's game now, he's kind of playing a different role under Jose Mourinho,
Oh
where he
yeah,
kind of where he kind of drops a little bit and he brings the fast players into it.
yeah,
which it's pretty decent. But back to it, I give them a 7. And I haven't seen a lot of Hoover play. I didn't even know who he was really.
Over.
Fatina, also, I haven't seen a lot of him play. I think he's Portuguese also, so
Yeah.
they got the whole Portugal squad going up. On to Newcastle. I mean, I think they only got Callum Wilson. They had a pretty decent team already with like they had Saint Maximan, who's a fucking beast, by the way.
He's a
He's so
beast.
good.
Yeah.
But how would you say Newcastle have done business?
I think it's good. Callum's a good addition to Miggy. I think Miggy's also picking up his pace. He definitely became a really good player at the end of last season, and this beginning of the season, he's also playing very well. And Maximan, he's got the pace. He's got the pace, and he's hustling and bustling. So, and also Jeff Hendrick from Burnley, also great addition. I don't know about Joel Linton. I think he's a bust. But overall, I think Newcastle has a good lineup. And Callum Wilson, he's a little shaky. Sometimes he's doing really well. Sometimes he's inexistent. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. But Newcastle definitely investing in these new signings, so I think it's good for them, and I will give them a solid 8 for this transfer.
Oh, interesting. We missed a few transfers. They brought in Ryan Fraser and Jamal Lewis as well.
Ooh, Fraser.
Jeff Hendricks as well.
Yeah,
So
Jeff Hendrick.
An 8 is pretty low considering they got Fraser and Jamal Lewis, who are pretty decent players.
Fraser's a beast, man. Fraser's a beast. Okay, fine. I'll give you 8.2.
Yeah, I'll say probably an 8.5 because again they got Fraser on a free, so that's pretty interesting. They got Wilson, who at Bournemouth did pretty decent. I mean, he is a kind of a goal scorer. Jamal Lewis, decent left back, so I'll give them an 8.5. And to close things out,
Jamal Lewis.
Yeah.
He's a good youngin from Norwich, so I've always kept an eye on this guy. He's really good, and yeah, very excited to see him.
Yeah. I liked him and Max Aarons from Norwich too.
Oh, what happened to Max Aaron?
He was supposed to go to Barcelona, but Norwich were asking for too much, so they got Serginho Dest. But on to the last team that we have on our list. I think this episode is getting kind of lengthy, but you guys can forgive us. Aston Villa, they brought in Emi Martinez, Russ Barkley on loan, Ollie Watkins, Matty Cash, and Bertrand Traore. And if you haven't seen Bertrand Traore, I think he's a Chelsea reject. I will have to check that, but he is some player. He is actually a beast. He's so good. But
Villa got him.
Yeah. So how would you rate that?
I would say it's a great deal for Aston Villa. All these transfer, I'll give them 9.5. Like you said, Traore had a great season at Lyon. I think he played 87 games total and 21 goals. And he's great at attacking. He's a great for addition to Grealish, John McGinn, and Trezeguet. It's a great addition to the team. I think Aston Villa, they were lacking the connection between midfielder and the attackers. So attacking striker. So I think he's going to be the one that takes care of that. And other players, Ross Barkley, I think that's a bargain. How much do they pay him for?
It's a loan. It's a loan deal.
It's a loan deal. Oh, I always seen like Ross Barkley. I think he has one thing I noticed about Ross Barkley. Last time I saw him play, I think he has asthma. I think Ross Barkley has asthma. Yeah, he had the inhaler before coming into the game. So that's truly inspiring. For him to play with that condition, and I always see him hustling. He knows how to work the ball, man. He knows how to play. I like his energy, that energy he brings to the team. And Aston Villa, he's gonna get a lot of playing time. So yeah, like Aston Villa got a great deal on all these players. So I would say 9.5. What about you?
Yeah, I'll say it brought in some pretty good recruitment to help Grealish out. I feel like he carried them last season, and his back probably still hurts. So it's good that he's getting help, and I think Aston Villa they got a decent squad actually. I mean, if you look, it just depends on how they play now. Again, it's always down to utilizing them, but I
Hey,
think they have 2 wins off the bat
yeah,
right now in the season, so they're not doing bad. So yeah, I'll give them a 9 or 9.5.
off to a good start. Hey, how about Emi Martinez, dude? When Leno was injured, he pretty much saved Arsenal's ass. What are your thoughts on Emi's transfer?
I kind of I kind of agree with him, but it's kind of sad that you can't keep two great goalkeepers. And Emi Martinez, he's a great goalkeeper, but he does not deserve to be a number two, if I'm being honest. So I
Mm,
think it was good business on both teams' behalf. I think we got like 20 million for him,
yeah.
and he gets to be a number one goalkeeper somewhere. So it's good business at the end of the day because you have to these are sacrifices you have to make. Like you can't have like two world-class goalkeepers and one is on the bench constantly. That's just not fair. So sad, but I understand.
Dude, they spent about 100 million Aston Villa this transfer window.
They making money. They spending bank.
Yeah, dude, Ollie Watkins, 33 million. I don't know. We'll find out if he's a bust or if he's gonna be good. We'll see.
Yeah, but we'll keep this episode here. Let us know your comments below. Who's the most exciting signing? Who won the transfer window? And the next 48 hours or 36-ish hours are going to be important for clubs. Any closing remarks?
No closing remarks today. Thanks everyone for watching. Just hit the subscribe button and hit that like button for our YouTube algorithm. And yeah, I love you all. And
Yeah,
what are your thoughts, Idris?
same. No closing remarks, but I think thank you for you guys for listening, and we keep doing this for you. Make sure to smash the like button, and I'm out.
We're out. Peace.
Enchanté.